Well, still clamped up, as you can see. I've had these clamps on that neck for almost a week, trying to get that back bow into it. But we're nearing the end. This thing's just about ready to start screaming again. I want to glue this joint up on the back of the neck here, the heel where I showed you. And I'm not going to drag you through all that. I just want to take a minute and show you. I'm going to take these clamps off today, and I'm going to try to spread this area apart where the heel is, where the heel meets the body. Get glue down in there, and then I'm going to wrap this band, this red band that you see, I think you can see it, around the entire guitar body and over the heel right here. And I'm going to tighten that so I get a squeeze out here, and hopefully just let that set up and won't have any more problem with that. Like I say, the neck block is tight, it's good. The neck joint is good. The thing is as solid as a rock. It's just got a little separation right here at the right at the heel, and that was with those heavy strings on it too. But you know, need to get that glued, get this banded up and let it set, and then we're going to start thinking about getting strings on this bad boy and setting him up. And you may hear all kinds of crap in the background. I mean, you got to remember where we are here. Plus it's in the middle of the day, the afternoon. So anyways, I'm going to I'll probably take these clamps off, so that'll all be out of the way. I've had a heat lamp hung up here, like I say, and had this thing under tremendous pressure. The crack I fixed is holding so far, even under this enormous amount of pressure I have on the neck right now. So yeah, let me get started here, get some of this stuff put away, and we'll get on with this thing. Hold on. One last look at the gaping crack it had. Starts right here. That's 1, 2, 3 frets. Well, it goes past the 3rd fret. Comes up and goes under the 3rd fret. Then it comes around to the side, if you remember, right here. Where we at? Right there, it comes around to the side up here. And that's all I repaired, was just the side of it, if you remember. So it doesn't look like the neck's broken on it. I'm almost certain someone tried to force this neck backwards, just like I have been doing. Forced it, you know, too far, and it just, by bending it back, and the looks of the crack, the way it looks like it broke, snapped it. But anyways, no more crack on the side. Watchdog. Watching for the birdies. Watch your ears. You looking for birdies? Bird dog. All 8 pounds. Get him. Tell him hello, cue ball. Actually, tell him goodbye, because I gotta get to work on this guitar. So here we have CA glue, or cyanoacrylate glue. I used a thin viscosity and got the belt clamp on, band clamp, whatever you want to call it. I've seen those clamps for, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 bucks, depending on how big or heavy it's got to be. But you can see a ratchet strap does the same thing. I just saved myself 60 bucks. But I got a block under here with a piece of leather between it and the block. And what I did was applied force, held the guitar down back here, applied force on the neck up here, and spreaded this crack out as much as I could. It was enough to get a sheet of paper in it. That's about how big of a crack it was. I used that glue I showed you, thin viscosity, and it ran down in there beautifully. I would like to have used a medium or heavy on that, but yeah, I don't know how well it would have ran down inside. But the thin did go down in there very well. I clamped it up, I got squeezed out, and it looks good. So I'm just going to leave it alone now for a couple of hours. Come back in about 2 hours and check it. That stuff sets up pretty quick, but I want to give it plenty of time. And I'll bring you back then and let you know what's going on. Well, folks, it's about 5 days later now. 5 days has passed since everything you've just watched up till right now. And I realized I left a few steps out I wanted to bring you back real quick and tell you about. I put a couple of old strings on here just to, the nut's not glued in yet, just to see where we are, you know, if we're anywhere close with this action. And we are very close. Got some good news too. One of the steps I left out was I had to ream these, if you can see this, used this reamer and had to ream these holes out bigger because the pins wouldn't go down in the holes right. You know, we removed a whole lot of material here from the top of this bridge, so I had to re-angle the pinholes so the pins would go all the way in properly and tight. And I wanted, like I said, I want to put a couple strings on here just to get an idea of where we are, where we're going to be with this, with the action on this thing. Because, like I say, you got steel reinforced neck. We can't adjust it. There's no adjustment, nothing we can do to it except beat it into submission, which I've been doing that for a month. Let me get the camera in hand here. We go all shaky cam on your ass, and I'll explain some things to you. Hold on. I think maybe you can see here about where we are with the action right now, and it's a little bit high right there, and it's not tuned up to pitch, and it doesn't have all the strings on it, so it's going to be higher than this with all that stuff done. But we have a lot of saddle back here, so we can remove some from the saddle to bring, I think, enough from the saddle, barely, but it's going to be enough to bring this action down low enough to make it play comfortably, I think. As you saw, I had a band wrapped around the entire body here, okay? There was a small crack at the heel of the guitar here. Let me get some more light. Hold on. You can see a little bit better, I think. Where was we at? Okay, yeah. I had the band clamp on here, and I glued there was a small crack here at the heel, and it ran from the very heel, I don't know, maybe an eighth of an inch, something like that. It wasn't deep at all. But I glued it, put the band clamp on, tightened it up, got squeeze out down here really good, and the good news is it appears to have moved the neck, changed the neck angle about 1 degree, which is perfect. You know, I mean, I'd like to see that a little bit more, but we'll take 1 degree. We'll take whatever we can get with this guitar, because, you know, like I say, you can adjust very little bit. You can adjust on it. The way you measure that is, well, that's a complicated story, but the first thing you do is measure your deflection back here, okay? You take a straight edge, lay it across the top, and you can see we have a tiny bit of deflection here. But you lay the straight edge across the top. That distance between the guitar and the straight edge there on both sides, you measure that. You can stick a coin in there or paper or whatever, and then measure the paper, but you measure that distance on both sides, okay? Then you take that deflection measurement and you multiply it by, I need more light under here, the bottom of the heel, the very bottom down here, the bottom of the heel right here, up to this tiny corner right here. I don't have the light in the right place, but I don't know, that's probably 3 point something inches right here, okay? Take that measurement you get from your deflection, multiply it by however long it is from your heel up to the corner, not including the fretboard, the neck we're talking about, okay? Then you take that number and divide it by the fretboard plane compared to the bridge. StewMac makes a tool, I don't remember what it's called, neck set tool maybe, or I don't know, but you just lay a straight edge down the fretboard, and it actually, it's a gauge on the end of that straight edge that measures the difference in the plane of the fretboard and the plane of the bridge. Okay, so take your deflection measurements, multiply them by 3.6 inches or 5 or whatever this measures out to be here. Divide that number by the fretboard plane to bridge number that StewMac's tool will give you, and that will give you a number usually in 30 seconds or 64, so you can do it in thousandths too, but it will give you a number of the amount of material you need to remove from the neck back here. If we were doing a neck reset, it would give you the amount you need to remove back here to make this triangle what it's supposed to be. If you can imagine a triangle, okay, one point of it being here, one point of it being the heel, and the third point being the center of the bridge, the very top center of it right here. So there's a triangle, you know, from right here straight up to here, down to the heel, and then back up to this center point on the bridge. Are you with me so far? That triangle and these, what I'm telling you, will give you the correct numbers to make that triangle what it's supposed to be, and in turn setting your neck angle at the proper angle. But anyways, God, how do we get into that? Oh yeah, the neck. Putting that strap thing on there like I did, I seem to have gained about 1 degree on the angle of the neck, so that's good. That helped us out. Like I say, I gotta get the action a little bit lower here real quick. I'm gonna jerk a saddle out. I only put these 2 strings on so I could look at this and be able to get, you know, get in the ballpark, some idea or close to playability action. So hold on, I'm going to take that saddle out and lower it. So I think that was pretty much everything that I told you about the gluing the heel crack back here. We gained about 1 degree more in our favor with the neck. I just now lowered the saddle, so I want to take those strings off of it, and I think that's pretty much it. I told you about reaming out the holes. That's pretty much it. I think we're ready for strings. And it's going to get elixirs. These are light gauge, extra lights actually, from a .10 to a .010 to .047. I didn't really want to go quite that light, but it's probably better that I did. That's all the store had when I was there. They didn't have just regular light gauge. But really that's too heavy of string for a little guitar like this. With these extra lights, you probably will never have any more trouble with the neck if you stick with these. Let's. I'm gonna pause the camera and put these on. So we got new strings on. Boys, I'll tell you what, this thing shocks me as good as it sounds. It really sounds sweet. It's got a, well, you'll hear it. It's got a different tone. It's just it impressed me. I didn't think it would sound like that. You'll see in a minute. You know the procedure now. I'm getting ready to check the dreadful neck relief, which we have no control whatsoever over. I just was curious what it might have landed on. Like I said in earlier videos of this, I'd like to see 10 thousandths, maybe 12 thousandths. It's what we would like to see, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Right here's a 12 thou. Let me start with a 10. Here's a 10. And I'm going to note, let's see, the 15th fret. Normally I'll note the 17th fret for this. But that reinforced rod in there, there's no way you can work past the, I guess the 14th fret, because your neck block is right there inside the body. So I'm going to note the 15th fret, and I'm going to check 7, 8, and 9. And just as I figured, it's more than 10 thousandths. So let's try 12. It's a little bit more than that. Let's see. Let's try 14. 14 thousandths neck relief. It's more than that. I really didn't want to see it go above 12, but yeah, what are you going to do, man? 15 thou. See, we're anywhere close with that. I probably should zoom you guys in so you can see what's going on. Nope, not 15 thousandths. Okay, let's just try. Let's try 20. 10 and 8 and a 2. Alright, 20 thousandths here. It's below that. It must be like 18. Here's 18. And bingo. 18 thousandths neck relief. That's not too bad, but really would have liked to have seen 10 or 12, no more than 12. It's 18 exactly. I'm going to keep it a few days and watch this and see if anything changes. I want to check the string action too. And of course we do that in playing position, because that's where it counts, right? .864, so that's way higher than we like. That's on the bass string. 864 is on the high E string too. So that tells me that arch in this saddle is not the same. I used the original saddle too. I guess it was the original. So when it came with it, I wanted to try to keep everything original as it was when it came to me. But the arch of that saddle does not match the arch of the fretboard. Obviously, it's different. So 8/64, so that's 1/8 inch. Well, that's not all that bad, but it looks like more than that looking at it. That's as close as it gets, though. I mean, you know, no truss rod, no adjustment. And I've had this neck in some, oh man, some unbelievable force, trying to get a back bow in it so we would have lesser neck relief. I knew this was going to happen. To some degree, it's not really as bad as I thought it would be, but I guess it's bad enough. 8/64, so that's a pretty high action. But it plays fairly easy. It plays really easy. I guess the time has come to hear her moan. Hold on. I can't play it, that's for sure. The neck's way wider than I'm used to, and the string spacing is way wider than I'm used to. But it plays pretty nice, man. I like these little guitars for this kind of music. I can't pick that fast. If you want to learn that lick, you're going to have to go to Jesse's channel, because that's where I learned it from. I ain't going to show it to you. You got to go to Jesse's channel to learn that. note out anywhere except here. Now that's where that hump is. You remember I showed it to you. It starts right at the body joint, the body fret, 14th fret, and goes uphill from there. And we're using that 14th fret now, and above it, and 15th. You know, unless you're going to be playing up in here, from the body back, it's fine, man. Stuff. Man, I forget that stuff. It's been so many years. I'll tell you what, this guitar is set up so different, man, from any of mine. Checked all the frets, and there's no buzzing up until when you go past the 14th fret, you're asking for trouble. Well, I've stretched it out of tune, I think. So there you have it, folks. The little harmony lives and is alive and well. Jesse, I hope you like it, man. That's about as good as we can get it without doing a neck reset on it. I mean, that was all of the tricks and all of the magic and everything we had available to us to save this guitar without doing a neck reset on it. So we came close. We came very close. The action could be, I like to see the action lower than that. And you could get it lower than that if you wanted to mess with the saddle a little bit. The bridge is even big enough you could take off more material there, allowing you to take the saddle down lower. But, you know, I don't know if you'd want to do that, go that far with it or not. It really would be better to reset the neck on it, you know, than to do all that stuff, that much stuff to it, to take it to that level and go that far. I did buff it up, buff the entire guitar. I don't know if you can tell it in the camera or not. He cleaned up rather nicely. Cleaned up very nicely to be so old. It lubed up the tuning machines and everything is works fine on it now. Going to ship it back your way. Probably I'm going to keep it till, I like to keep it until after the weekend. No, I'd like to keep it till next week, really, and just watch the thing and make sure, you know, nothing drastically changes or changes at all. We'd like to see no change. Well, we'd like to see the action a little bit lower than that. But anyways, thank you guys, everyone and gals, for sticking with me through this series. I think this is part 8, maybe. Pretty sure it's part 8. I appreciate all you new subscribers, all you old ones, and the ones to come. So thanks for watching, guys and gals. I hope somebody learned something from this series too. Maybe picked up a few tips or things that they could help set their guitar up themselves or something. Anyways, thanks everyone. I'll catch you on something new down the road. Cheers to you. Mm-hmm.